Hello dear students, welcome to Axiomaticos. This video is the part of the solution series for PhD entrance for mathematics conducted by Indian Statistical Institute. So we are here with this problem 2 of your paper. This is a 2019 paper. So it's an analysis problem. Let us have a look. Show that limit n goes to infinity alpha to infinity root n e to the power minus nx square dx is equal to this. What it means that you can interchange the limit in between the integration. Alright. Now for alpha greater than 0 but not for alpha equal to 0. So what question actually means that you can interchange the limit if alpha is greater than 0 and if alpha is equal to 0 then you cannot. So this question has actually two parts. In the first part, let us say you have alpha 0, then you have to show that this thing is not equal to this thing. That means you cannot interchange the limit. In the second one, if you consider alpha to be greater than 0, then you can interchange the limit. This is what you have to show. Alright, so now let us begin. I will take this case when alpha is 0. Let us consider this as your first case. When alpha is 0, I want to show that this limit cannot be interchanged. Alright, so for that matter what I will do, I will evaluate this integral. Which integral? 0 to infinity. I am not writing alpha here, alright, because it's 0 then now. So what you have this e to the power minus nx square. I will evaluate this integral first and then I will apply the limit. So I am doing LHS part. Alright, so it's LHS. Alright, left hand side. Even though I'm not inserting limit here right now, but later on I will do. So you have this integration. Now if you have studied gamma function, then you know this definition of gamma function, that this integral is actually equal to what? Gamma of n. This is what you already know. Now by using that we will substitute minus nx square as t. If you are substituting minus nx square as t, then you will get minus 2nx dx dt. So dx is given by then, okay, I should write little bit space problem. So dx will be given by dt over minus 2 nx. So what is x? It's t by n whole root. I'm sorry, I will not consider minus. Alright, so consider this plus nx square. I'm putting this to t, then you will get this. Alright, because otherwise this x square will not be defined unless t is greater than 0. So less than 0, sorry. So you got this. Alright, so just substitute nx square as t, you will get this. After substitution, what will happen here? Let us see. You will get, in place of e to the power minus nx, you will get minus t. In place of dx, you will get 2 root n root t. Now let us try to put these limits. When x is 0, what is t? T is 0. When x is infinity, what is t? In n times of infinity. N is a positive number, it's a natural number, therefore it will still be infinity. Alright, so you got this. Now I will rewrite this integral 0 to infinity. What you will get, I think root n will be cancelled, so you will get 1 by 2 times of t to the power minus 1 by 2 e to the power minus t dt. Now if you want to apply this result, you have to write n minus 1 instead of minus 1 by 2. Alright, so what I will do for that matter, I will just write it like this: 0 to infinity t to the power 1 by 2 minus 1 e to the power minus t dt. Alright, this is what I can do. Now using this, I can write this as gamma of 1 by 2. Now if you have studied gamma function, you know that value of gamma of 1 by 2 is root pi. So you will get finally root pi by 2 as your answer. So this integral I is independent of n. Are you getting my point or not? It's not dependent on n. So if even if you will place limit over here, limit n goes to infinity, then also you will get root pi over 2 because it's independent of n. So LHS is what? LHS is I is equal to limit n goes to infinity 0 to infinity root n e to the power minus nx square. All right, so it's root pi by 2. That is what we have proved. Now let us try to evaluate the right hand side. So what we have on the right hand side, before integration we have this limit n goes to infinity root n e to the power minus nx square. So if you will place infinity directly, then what you will get? Infinity root is infinity, this thing is infinity. Infinity multiplied with e to the power minus infinity. So that's 0. I am considering this case when x is non-zero, alright. I will consider another case when x is 0. Right now consider x non-zero. So you will get infinity dot e to the power minus infinity into some non-zero number. Therefore this will be e to the power minus infinity. So it is actually 0 into infinity. Sorry, not 0. I should write infinity into 0. Alright. So this is infinity into 0 case. That means it's actually 0 by 0. Because infinity you can write as 1 by 0. Getting my point? So this thing is 0 by 0. So what you can do? You can apply L'Hospital rule. To apply L'Hospital rule, what I will do? I will firstly take e to the power nx square on the denominator. All right. So now it's infinity by infinity case, you can see. So you can apply L'Hospital rule. I am not stating L'Hospital rule because stating L'Hospital rule will make this video a little bit longer. I don't want that. Try to see L'Hospital rules somewhere in your analysis books. So you will get root n. So after differentiating root n, you will get 1 by 2 root n. And on the numerator part, you will get 2nx e to the power nx square. Keep in mind that x is non-zero, otherwise I cannot do this thing. All right, so you will get this 2 will be cancelled right now, so not 2 will not be cancelled out. You will get this right now. If you will place infinity, you will get 1 over infinity into e to the power infinity. That means it's infinity. It's not, you are not getting indeterminate form now. So it's 1 over infinity because product of infinity is again infinity. So you got 0. All right. So if x is non-zero, then you get 0 as your limit. All right. Suppose if x is 0, then what you will get? Even if x is 0, all right, from where you are taking your x? You are taking your x from this integral, because you have, finally you have what? You have on the RHS side, you have this limit, sorry, not limit, integral. So limit n goes to infinity root n e to the power minus nx square dx. So you have this 0 to infinity. That means x can be 0. But if x is non-zero, then this limit is 0. And you know that integration is independent of countably, or you can say if you have studied measure theory. So if you will leave a set of measure 0, then also limit, then also integration will have no effect on that. What I am trying to tell you right now is that even if you will leave x is equal to 0 case, you have x non-zero, even if you will leave x is equal to 0 case, then also integration will have no effect of it. Why? Because it's a set with measure 0. So integration will have no effect. So you will get 0 to infinity, 0 here. And that is again 0. Are you getting my point? Are you getting or not? So there is no need to find out the limit when x is 0, because that's the set where measure is 0. So integration will have no effect on it. So finally I proved that RHS is 0 and LHS is what? Root pi by 2. So they are unequal. So I proved this thing, that if alpha is 0, then this equality will not hold. Got it? Now try to understand the case when alpha is greater than 0. So what I am doing the case number 2 when alpha is a number which is greater than 0. So I want to show that these two things are equal then. Alright. So what I will do, I will use a result. So let me state that result for you. So see this, I have written this theorem for you. What it says that if fnx is a sequence of continuous function and fnx goes to fx uniformly. Alright, it says if fnx goes to fx uniformly, then this limit can actually be interchanged. Alright, why I am writing fx here? Because limit n goes to infinity, fnx is fx. Alright, so this thing will be replaced by fx. So this is the important note for this question, because the whole part, this case depends upon this thing. Now what is your fnx in your case? Your fnx is root n of e to the power minus nx square. Alright, this is your fnx. Now this thing is a constant number and it's the exponential. So you know that fnx are continuous functions. It's a sequence of continuous function. Now let us try to evaluate your pointwise limit. So pointwise limit will be limit n goes to infinity root n e to the power minus nx square. Now you know that alpha is greater than 0. That means if alpha is greater than 0, then your x cannot be 0. Alpha is greater than 0 means x is non-zero. Now because x is non-zero, therefore this limit you can write as 0, because right now you evaluated limit for this when x is non-zero. Are you getting my point? So in this case your x belongs to alpha to infinity, where alpha is a non-zero number. Therefore this x is non-zero in your domain. Are you getting my point? I am not showing right now that why it is 0, because right now just a minute ago I showed you that why it's 0. So I finally got my pointwise limit. Alright, now if you somehow show that fnx, that is if you somehow show that this thing goes to 0 uniformly, then you are done, because this is the statement and this is what you have to prove. So the only thing that remains to show is to show that why this function root n e to the power minus nx square goes to 0 uniformly. Alright, are you getting my point? So now let us prove this thing. So for this matter we can use definition. By using definition also it's easy, but by using Mn test it's little bit easy for me to explain that thing, because if I will use definition that then I have to explain you many things. Alright, so I will directly use Mn test. So what Mn test actually suggests, that if supremum of this thing x belongs to alpha to infinity, fnx, if this thing, the supremum mn goes to 0, then your sequence of function is uniformly convergent. Are you getting my point or not? So mn will be, in your case it will be supremum alpha to infinity. What I am using Mn test to show why it is uniformly convergent. Alright, I will repeat Mn test again. What is Mn test? Mn test simply says that if this sequence of Mn, what is Mn? Mn is this. If this sequence of Mn goes to 0 when n goes to infinity, then you can say that your sequence is uniformly convergent. Alright, so what is fx? It's 0 in your case, so you will get this root n e to the power minus nx square. Now see, if you increase your x, let us say if you increase your x, then actually what you are doing, you are decreasing this quantity, because you have minus over here. So if you want to get the biggest value of e to the power minus nx square, then you have to put alpha in here, because you have to put the least x that you have. The least x that you have is alpha. Therefore the supremum will be root n e to the power minus n alpha square. Are you getting my point? So now if n goes to infinity, this thing is root n over e to the power n alpha square. Alright, so just find out this limit. Limit n goes to infinity mn, and what it is? its limit n goes to infinity root n over e to the power n alpha square. So you will get, initially you will get infinity over infinity form, but after that what you can do, you can apply L'Hospital rule. So you will get this 2n alpha e to the power n alpha square. Got it? So you see this thing is now 0. You just evaluate it yourself. So finally I proved that your sequence of function fnx goes to fx uniformly. Got it? Now using this theorem we got this result. So this is how you can prove this question. It is actually divided into two cases. The first one is alpha is equal to 0. To show the alpha is equal to 0 case, what we used? We used gamma function. So little bit knowledge of gamma function is essential, because you cannot evaluate that integral by yourself without knowing the gamma function thing. Now for the alpha greater than 0 case, it's very trivial, because if you know this theorem, then to show uniform convergence, it's nothing. It's easy. All right. So this is how you can show these things. So thank you.